Hello, Blackhawks Nation. Welcome to Blackhawks Daily, your favorite recap of the daily buzz around your Chicago Blackhawks. Really appreciate you guys being with me on this journey. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for being a part of this process, of this, this exaltation of our beloved Hawks, our beloved city of Chicago, of our cheering on the best sweater in all of hockey, all these fantastic players, all of them in the past, and this great crop of future players that we have in our hands. Just love all the support. So thank you so much for being a part of that. As you know, not a lot going on. Super dry off season. So, as I like to say, we're dredging the barrel. We're just scraping it up, trying to find what we can. Been doing a lot of nostalgic stuff, so we're going to keep doing that. We're just trying to keep the jonesing away until puck drops October 7th. And we do have, training camp coming up middle of September, so that's something to look forward to. So let's get to it, huh? Here's the top 4 topics of today. We're going to keep the train rolling. We've been talking about Tab Bamford and Bleacher Nation's top 25, their list of the top 25 Blackhawks of all time. So we'll go through it. Number 15. So we've done numbers 25 through, number 25 through 16. Now we're at number 15. For me, in my heart, this one's way closer to single digits. Chris Chelios, defenseman, number 15. Hockey Hall of Fame inductee. Number 7, retired. Captain, 95 through 99. 2-time Norris Trophy winner. 92 to 93, 95 to 96. Again, just to refresh, all the records that I talk about are only when they're with the Hawks. Just as a reminder, 2-time All NHL player. Blackhawks career, 664 games, 92 goals, 395 assists, and 487 points, 1,495 penalty minutes. Now, while some fans still, to this day, have a problem with Chelios being traded to the hated Red Wings, if you watch him play for the Blackhawks, there is no denying his greatness. Now, he's come home to Chicago in the last few years to become an ambassador for the organization, and his jersey was retired. Chelly was a great captain, fearless leader, physical enforcer. He's the greatest American-born defenseman in NHL history, and he's played more games for his hometown Blackhawks than he did for the Red Wings or the Canadiens. So, there you go. Pretty cool. Number 14, Eddie Belfour, goalie. Eddie the Eagle, how can you forget him? Hockey Hall of Fame inductee, 1990 to 91 Calder Trophy, 1990 to 91 All-Rookie Team, 2-time Vezina Trophy winner, 90-91, 92, 93, 3-time Jennings Trophy winner, 90 to 91, 92, 93, 94 to 95, 3-time All-Star. Blackhawks career, 415 games, with a 201, 138, 56 record, a .903 save percentage, and 2.65 goals against average with 30 shutouts. The Eagle, as we love to call him, burst out of the NHL scene with a stunning rookie campaign in 1991 that saw him win the Calder, the Vezina, Jennings, and finish third in Hart Trophy voting. He's one of the most dominant goaltenders of the 90s and helped lead the Blackhawks to one Stanley Cup final. Yeah, and then I think right after us, he went to Dallas, if I'm not mistaken. Number 13, another goalie, Charlie Gardner. Hockey Hall of Fame inductee, Stanley Cup champion 1934, captain 1933 to 34, 2-time Vezina Trophy winner, 31-32, 33-34, 3-time All-NHL player. Blackhawks career, 318 games, 112, 151, 52 record, 2.02 goals against average, 42 shutouts. And yes, you read that correctly. Gardner, as a goalie, was the captain of the first Stanley Cup championship team in Blackhawks history. He's still the only NHL goalie to be captain of a Cup-winning team. Gardner was also one of the bright stars of the game late in the late 1920s and early 1930s, but then he sadly passed away. He won the Stanley Cup while dealing with an infection that went untreated and ultimately cost him his life. Born in Scotland, Gardner's career was cut short far too early. Well, number 12, Bill Mosienko, right winger. Hockey Hall of Fame inductee, 1944 to 45, Lady Byng, 5-time All-Star. Blackhawks career, 711 games, 258 goals, 282 assists, 540 points, 28 game-winning goals. The legendary photo of Mosienko after he set an NHL record in which he scored 3 goals in 21 seconds against the New York Rangers was on March 23rd of 1952. That remains the fastest hat trick in the history of the game. But Mosienko was more than just a single game. He was one of the first great scorers in Blackhawks history. His 258 goals for the Blackhawks still ranked 10th in franchise history, and he retired 70 years ago. Great player. I believe he's from Manitoba, and he's also part Ukrainian, so there you go. Number 11, Doug Wilson. Hockey Hall of Fame inductee, 1981-82 Norris Trophy, 6-time All-Star, Blackhawks career, 938 games, 225 goals, 554 assists, 779 points, 80 power play goals. Wilson's 779 points remain the gold standard among Blackhawks defensemen. Duncan Keith ranks second among all Blackhawks defensemen with 625. He was a gorgeous skater who did everything during the 1980s for the Blackhawks. And if we're honest, his number 24 is long overdue for retirement by the Blackhawks. And his Hockey Hall of Fame induction came years, much later than warranted. Ooh, all right. We're going to be cracking the top 10 next time. It's going to be fun. And now, speaking of one of my faves, Mr. Chelios, did you know that he holds a major Stanley Cup playoff record? It's too bad it's not much to celebrate with him wearing the Blackhawks sweater, but it counts. So the former Blackhawks captain and Evergreen Park native played in the NHL for 26 seasons and won 3 Stanley Cups during that time. Chelios started his career with the Montreal Canadiens, where the standout defenseman won his first Stanley Cup at the age of 24. Chelios would spend his first 7 seasons in the NHL with the Canadiens, and he quickly became an elite defender, even winning the Norris Trophy during the 1988-89 season. Chelios would be traded to Chicago during the 1990 offseason in a deal that sent a second-round pick and our beloved Denis Savard to Montreal. Chelios quickly made an impact in Chicago, helping lead the team to the Stanley Cup Final in 1992 and winning a Norris Trophy a year later in 93. The Blackhawks were never able to get back into the Stanley Cup Final and ultimately win it all with Chelios. And after captaining the team for 4 years, the Hawks would trade him to the Detroit Red Wings, boo, in exchange for Anders Eriksson and a pair of first-round picks. Chelios would go on to win 2 more Stanley Cups and play well into his 40s with Detroit. And through it all, Chelios was an elite presence on the ice, and his time in Chicago earned him a jersey retirement by the franchise in February of 24. Chelios had a long NHL career and has had a lot of success along the way because of it, he's been inducted in the Hockey Hall of Fame and even holds one major record that I kind of alluded to. He leads the league with the most career playoff games, but unfortunately he never won it all with the Hawks. Chris Chelios leads the league in playoff games played. Over the course of his career, Chelios played in 266 playoff games, 103 with Detroit, 98 with Montreal, and 65 with Chicago. And while it's great to know that the Blackhawks helped play a role in Chelios' record amount of games played in the postseason, it kind of sucks that we didn't see that Chicago was the only one that he didn't win it all with. So there is that, but I digress. All right, moving on from there, we got some people going to the Olympic orientation camp. Just this past Tuesday morning, USA Hockey announced its roster for the Olympic orientation camp and included a lot of the typical suspects: Austin Matthews, Jack Eichel, the Hughes brothers, the Chuck brothers. It even included Chicago Blackhawks legend Patrick Kane, who had previously participated in the Olympics with Team USA. And of course, who doesn't like Showtime? This is a good opportunity for Kane to give himself the chance to make the roster after being left off the Four Nations face-off team. Of the current Chicago Blackhawks, both Frank Nazar and Alec Vlasic made the camp. They are bubble players for the roster, but they endeared themselves by playing very well earlier in the summer at the IIHF World Championships, where they won gold. Nazar and Vlasic, although they each had a cup of coffee to different extents before 24-25, showed that they belonged in the NHL last year. Vlasic, a defenseman with a bit of offensive flair, had 4 goals and 26 assists while playing against the opposition's top players regularly. And as for Nazar, he had 12 goals, 14 assists for 26 points in 53 games played. He started to produce at a high level in the final 6 weeks of the season, and, which the folks are all excited to watch him this coming season. At the World Championships, Nazar was one of Team USA's 3 best and most productive forwards. Vlasic's role was to keep the other team's best players off the score sheet, and he was exceptional at that. This is a well-deserved invite to camp for both of them. Now, whether they end up making the team or not remains to be seen, but they will gain high-level experience practicing with all that elite talent that USA Hockey is bringing. These two will help their hockey country in one way or another, and they'll help each other over the next handful of years. So hopefully they'll be helping the Hawks out as well. And finally, let's get to some hot takes. We only got a couple today. We have one from Spencer Hawk 9742. He says, "Hey PJ, I listen every day, hoping to have my spirit lightened regarding 25-26 season. Let's go, Mr. Spencer. I'm the same age as Rocky and still kicking." Well, there you go. You're kicking. I hope to connect with the Hawks content this season, but with Jerry Reinsdorf involved, I'm not holding my breath. Yeah, that's the devil you know, isn't it? All I can say is we're all in this together, buddy. Thank you for being a part of this journey. Thank you for tuning in, and we're all in this. We're all friends, aren't we? So let's go. I love it. Thank you, Spencer. Thank you for that. And Lester 7L, a repeat offender, 7L1. Keep up the great job. Looking forward to 25-26 season. Where's Corey Crawford and what is he doing now? Corey Crawford retired. He had a lot of concussion problems. He went to the Devils, and I think that was the last team he played on. And I know he's got married. I know he's married. He's got 3 kids. And the last that I heard, he sold his. He had a really nice apartment downtown. He sold that. I don't know where he's living. I'm assuming back in Canada because that's where he's from. And I know that he has a real interest in classic cars and refurbishing old cars. So maybe that's what he's doing. I also heard that he's doing podcasts as well. So I think that's what Crawford's up to. I don't know. I'll give him a call. I don't have his number though. So, but that's all I got. I can look him up, check him out a little bit more. Anyway. Thank you guys. And thank you, Lester. You're always such a gem. That's a wrap for today, folks. Thank you, as always, for checking in, for continuing to be a part of this journey with me. We're almost there, right? It's today, it's August 20th, so it'll be August 21st when you see this. We're almost there. We're getting towards the season. Can you feel it? It's building a little bit. I mean, the Bears are now playing preseason, like there's a little change in the air. So it's nice. Please continue to share about the channel. Thank you for tuning in and watching and listening. And, please, thank you so much for liking and subscribing and all that kind of stuff. And just thank you so much for all the support, not only for me, but for the Hawks, for this awesome centennial season that we're going to have coming up, for this team, and, of course, for the greatest city on this little blue dot in this huge universe. Thank you so much for that. So that does it for today. I'm PJ, and I will see you guys next time on the Blackhawks Daily.